Hello! Fee. Hello, my friends. How you going? It is good to see you. I am here, and we are candid with Kel. My name is Kel, and I'm the founder of Genius Network. Thank you so much for joining us. So today, I decided that after last week's little, I don't want to call it a debacle, but it was kind of a thing where it took a little bit to get it all going. I thought that this week what I wanted to do was something a little bit different. I wanted to change location because usually I'm inside, and then today I was like a bit inspired by Ryan, who you met last week. We got to have a chat with him about his recovery post-stroke. And he was sitting in his car, so I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it from my car because I think that's like quite cool. But yeah, I should say that Candid with Cal is our live meetup for Genius Network, our trauma survivor support team here on Facebook, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So as you're coming on through, I want to, welcome you all to the crew. Please say hello, give us a lot of love in the comments so that I know that you're there. But whilst you're coming on through, pull up a chair or sit wherever you are, lie down, meditate, I don't even care. And we'll play some music and get this show on the way. Hey Jennifer, hey Kirby. Oh, Kim, Lionel, Tom, hello. Ryan, hello. Awesome to see you guys. Give us lots of love. All right. Hey, Anastasia, Peppers, welcome all the way from Italy. Good to see you. All right. So I want to now kind of like pick up on where we were at last week. Basically, sorry, I'm just going to try and get some stuff together, get this happening. All right. So moving on from last week. Hello, Kate. Last week, we talked all about a really awesome question that Lionel, your teammate, asked me to ask you. And that was all about coping and how do you cope with life post-stroke? How do you cope with accepting, new realities? And it's a big, big topic. And last week, what I told you was all about how I have sort of managed to do that. And what I did, just in summary, was I was breaking down to look at it really easily, or most simply, I broke down, what is acceptance and what is coping. Coping is essentially the components or the elements that lead towards accepting. And for me, I broke down my recovery, and through my recovery, where I lost the ability to walk, talk, swallow, see, breathe, this, because I had to regain so many functions back, and I have rebuilt those functions. I kind of don't feel like I've necessarily regained them. I've actually rebuilt them. And if you feel me, when if you kind of agree, please let me know in the comments below. But I've definitely had to really dissect what that thing was that I was doing. I've had to, when I lost my voice, my biggest fear was that I would never sing again. And when I went and really dissected what is singing in my life, what is having a voice in that way, what does that mean? I realized that having a voice for me wasn't necessarily about these beautiful tones, these, what I hoped were beautiful tones to impress someone. It was actually about my intention, my willingness to be seen, and my vulnerability in expressing myself. If you feel me, please let me know, because you must get this. So really for me, every single aspect, whether it be my ability to swallow, to walk, to balance, to sit up like this right now, to speak, I've had to go in and unpack what that function was and kind of redefine it to realign it. You know, I guess the thing that I've really discovered for me is that every single thing in my life, you know, it wasn't taken away from me. It went for a reason, you know. Thank you so much. I just got a lot of loves in the, oh, thank you for all the love hearts in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate it. Give us more. Give us more. Invite your friends. Invite anyone. Please feel free to share this post into any groups that you're a part of, by the way, because any of us survivor groups, we need to know that we're in this together. And as you know, being a genius yourself, we all share one vision of truly connecting by sharing our stories and empowering one another to have a voice. So please feel free to share this to anyone else that you think might be touched by trauma and might want to join our community, or see this or might get something from it. But moving on, I've got a couple of notes here. So I've talked about those strategies, but I just want to also talk about some of the strategies that were mentioned in the comments last week, right? Because let me know if you mentioned something good in the comments last week, because I was I was very touched and very happy to hear what you thought last week about your versions of coping, because how you cope is a story that someone else might need to hear, and it can totally unlock someone's prison. I said that a lot last week, so that's the last time I'll say unlock someone's prison this week. But I just want to give a bit of a shout out because Kim, you said family was a big coping mechanism for you, and that's amazing. I couldn't agree more. Along with Emily and Benham, you also mentioned how our family, our genius community, is a huge support to you. So other than just amazing feedback that is for me to hear and for the rest of us to hear, it's so important for everyone else listening to know that you have directly impacted Emily by offering your story, your anecdote, your sharing part of you has helped someone else that you might not have even known about. So congratulations and thank you. Tom Odland. Love that last name, by the way, Tom. You talked about using your cane, and what I wrote down for that was that, you know, using an actual physical, what's it called, like a physical structure or some sort of actual support aid to, you know, step into your vulnerability but allow yourself to have assistance is a really important thing. And I know that took me a really long time. It took me 4 years before I got a walking stick. But I think stepping into that physical realm of help is also a hugely important part of coping. So we've got family and support. We've got some physical aid. Cami, you have mentioned, I guess, storytelling, songwriting, your writing, blogging. Everyone, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out Cami's blog because it's bloody awesome. And everything that you've got little pearls of wisdom in there, Cami, so please keep sharing them. And I encourage, you know, everyone else, if you're listening and you want to write a blog, do it. Start it. Let your voice out there. Because, as I said, your story can unlock someone else's prison. And, I said it twice. Damn it. I've got to move on. Last two shout outs that I want to give is to Lauren and Tom. You talked about goal setting, which I thought was really, really important, because having that forward thinking goal, moving to, like, structurally actually moving towards creating a better life for yourself and really working towards, you know, a stronger resolution is how you're going to get to acceptance. And I know that for me, goal setting, oh my God, my OT would love this. Amy Zuluaga, you would love this. Goal setting has been so important for me. Even today, I've had like 1 million goals just to get to chat with you today. Nadia, you've talked about mantras, self-talk. Amazing. You know how big I am on self-talk, guys. How you talk about yourself internally is so important. And when we actually Skype in with Ryan, I think he's probably got some stuff to say about that, because I know that it's a really impactful thing how you talk about yourself to yourself. And it totally can not only rewire your brain, and it's been proven, it can actually rewire your life. You can rebuild your life by how you think and talk about yourself. So I encourage you to do that in a positive, uplifting, optimistic sense. Not crazy, ridiculous, like pie in the sky. Just real kindness, mindfulness. The last thing is Jennifer Lingard. Thank you so much. I want to give you a bit of a shout out because you said something which I really liked. You called your abilities, what some of us might think at different times are our deficits, you call them your new capabilities, which I love because it really puts a different spin on the word disability and what that can do for some people. So yeah, for me, over the last week, there's been some really big highlights shared in our community. Lionel, you shared some amazing, I love that little bit you shared. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, please, someone add it if you can in the comments below or comment about this. But you did some redefining yourself, Lionel, where you talked about having an MRI last week. We know where you are, and being in India, and how it was kind of like a rave, like a party. And so I thought, oh, that's pretty cool to like redefine it, realign it. Love it. Tom O, again, teaching your dog to give support by pressing the button. That was a pisser. I thought that was pretty cool. If you liked that, guys, please give us a little bit of a comment on that. If you've got a dog, give us a comment. And Kia. Thank you for reaching out. Thanks so much for letting us in to part of your story. I know that for the rest of you, if you haven't yet seen what Kia just recently posted, it was really impactful and it got a lot of people talking, and I really encourage everyone to do things like that. It's hard to step into vulnerability, but it is the most important thing that we have. So please keep doing so. But anyway, that's enough of a wrap from me. I now want to bring in our special guest. I'm going to just have to do a little bit of... I'm going to have to try and Skype him in somehow, but I'm just going to get a bit of this music going. And now we're just going to Skype him in here. Oh. Well, hello there.
Hello, sir.
Everybody, this is Ryan. Oh, Ryan's buckling. Oh, I'm ready to buckle up. Hello, my friend.
How you going?
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
Everyone, this is Ryan. So we're just looking here.
Okay.
Guys, I want to make sure that you can see Ryan. You need to see him a bit more importantly than me right now. So, Ryan, last week,
Yeah.
I thought it was a pisser because everyone got on board with us where before we've done this big impromptu, like, oh, I want to do a surprise. We're going to do carpool karaoke and comedians in cars getting coffee or whatever it is. I wanted to talk with you last week because I personally, since we've met and been able to become friends, have loved hearing your story. I think you're just an awesome dude. And I was like, everyone needs to hear this. Other than the fact that I used to wear an eye patch, you wear an eye patch, you rock your eye patch. I'm like, yeah, if anyone can rock an eye patch, which hopefully all of our community can, I feel connected with you. And I just thought, what we could do is just hear a bit about your story because, I mean, tell us, I guess, and anyone, if you've got any questions for Ryan, please. Oh, Ruben saying, hey, Ryan, yes, hey, Tom.
Hey, Ruben.
Tell us, take us back. Let's go back before you had the stroke. So how old were you before you had your stroke?
So I was 31 when I had my first stroke.
Okay.
Life up until that point, a lot of people on Genius, have heard numerous times, but in a nutshell, I was fit and healthy, working as a private practice physiotherapist.
Yeah.
With my own business, and I was super busy with work and super busy with sport and exercise, living on the surf coast in Victoria, surfing as much as I could.
Yeah, you're like... Kelly Slater of talking. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that, should I? Because that's like maybe cutting that down. You're like, I've never stood up on a surfboard, like pre-stroke, post-stroke. Like, I can't do that shit. But yeah, so you've like this massively active...
I can't dance though.
Neither can I. Well, I can kind of dance. I can do like a bit of hip stuff. But sorry, tell us more. So this kind of guy that you were, how would someone else have described you
Yeah.
If someone was to go, oh, I know this dude Ryan, how would they have described you?
I would say adventurous.
Yeah.
Lots of fishing and kayaking, and I was a surfing instructor for a long time, and rock climbing instructor. Lots of travelling. I was a surf guide in Morocco for a while, and
Okay, just casually drop the Morocco. Okay, yeah, sure.
A taxi bike rider in a rickshaw rider in Edinburgh, Scotland.
So you would actually say that's elite kind of. It's very. I mean, I find it impressive, but that's your body was working.
Yeah, I was fit. I was very fit.
Yeah.
Looking back, I don't think I was healthy.
Okay.
But I was very fit.
Okay. And so what happened? So you turned 31.
So I was 31. I went home from work one day thinking that I had some kind of flu.
Yeah.
I called it a man flu. I just felt off, and after a week of sitting at home, I went and got a referral for an MRI from a doctor, and that showed that there was a golf ball sized thing in my brainstem that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
So that's when shit hit the fan.
Right.
And fast forward a few weeks, deathbed kind of situation. The doctors were saying that the bleed, it was AVM, atriovenous malformation, like you and like a lot of other
Yeah, we got heaps on the Genius crew.
Yeah. The bleed was too big and it was too deep to operate on.
Okay. And so this is in your brainstem.
Brainstem, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So like you, I lost the ability to walk and swallow. It was really shit. After a while, I recovered somewhat to the point where I was able to go home. And
can I just ask, who was who was there with you in terms of your support? Obviously there was heaps of medical people, I imagine.
Yeah.
Who family, or did you have a partner at the time or anything like that?
I'd had a girlfriend for almost a year.
Okay.
A year, basically a year. Dee or Deanne.
Yeah.
And mum and dad, they were by my side the whole time, and they were fantastic. I went home, and after about a week of being at home, I had a second stroke, bigger than the first one, so back into hospital. And I wasn't going to survive for very long without them doing surgery. So they did surgery, but the scary thing about it was they were unsure how I was going to come out. They said that I was most likely going to recover. They said that I was most likely going to survive, but I wasn't going to be the same Ryan Ogden that I used to be.
Okay.
I was going to come out different, physically or mentally or both. They couldn't tell me if I was going to be able to walk or talk or return to work or spend the rest of my days in a nursing home.
Wow.
So that was scary. And it was very successful.
The surgery?
Yep. Over a year, I learnt to walk again and swallow, and I got back to surfing after 10 months.
Yeah.
Surfing a longboard and surfing it very averagely.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'm sure it was probably pretty good compared to... it'd be a different experience to what you've had.
Yeah, so it was very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
But, I was celebrating the little wins.
Okay.
And I even got back to work as a physio. I got over the year, I got use of my left hand again. And I got back to physio, which I was so happy about.
Yeah, because tell me about, so you say, so are you left side affected?
Yes.
Oh my God, same. Up top. Yeah.
Now I hit myself in the head.
That's all right. So if we move on, it sounds like you had this, lots of us are going to relate to this, a really massive, significant recovery. I definitely feel you with that. I am definitely interested in terms of like, so you say D, you guys were together for a year.
Yeah.
Like you've been together for a year and then you have this thing. So tell us about how that impacted your relationship. Like,
Massively. I picked a good one though because as soon as all this went down,
yeah.
Dee lived in Torquay, 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
When I returned home from hospital after my first stroke, she'd moved all her stuff in.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, she knows what she's doing.
Together. Yeah.
Okay. I like it, D.
I had two...
Sassy gal.
Yeah, yeah. I had two housemates at the time, and they were due to leave anyway.
Okay.
And I had a new housemate, my girlfriend D.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so tell us, like, so how many years ago is that?
Well, I lose track, but that must have been in 2012.
Okay, so about six years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So Dee became my carer.
Yeah.
And that I know you've done other topic talks.
Yeah.
And, posed the question of how people have dealt with it themselves. Their partner turning into their carer.
Yeah.
Turning into their partner again.
Yeah. It's like a metamorphosis that you just don't expect.
It's so strange. Yeah. And it's a bit of a constant battle.
Okay. Sorry.
Because Dee's struggled to let go of those damn carer reins,
Yeah, because she would care.
Yeah, of course. But I get frustrated because I can do stuff now, Dee. You don't have to take it all on. We're going to share the responsibilities and...
That's a really important thing to talk about. And so actually I think like if you're listening and you're hearing what I'm hearing about the relationship really changing, the dynamic where someone's gone from maybe a loved one or a lover to then being in a position of extreme care, where you might be dependent on them. And I know that I was in the same position with my ex-partner at the time. Does that make sense? Ex-partner my partner at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ex. Anyway, we're not together anymore. But he would have had to... I know that the role changes. And our personalities, where I was at in life up until that point really shifted in terms of dynamic.
Yeah.
But moving on from that,
yeah,
I would love to hear how your relationship with Dee and your life has changed for the better.
So over that year, after the first surgery, Dee was the sole breadwinner, coming home to me and looking after me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should throw in that after the second stroke and the first surgery, a year after that, I had a third stroke, more surgery, and then multiple years of recovery after that.
We've got a 3-time stroke survivor here, guys. Wiggle.
Don't rip me off.
Oh,
so
shit.
2 surgeries and 3 strokes.
Yeah.
I go home and Dee's still there.
Yeah.
She hasn't fled. She's definitely a sucker for punishment.
She's in love with you, and she's a legend.
Yeah, I think there's a few people that have been surprised at that she has hung around.
Okay.
Because I'm totally different. Totally different.
Yeah.
I go from Ryan the adventurer to Ryan who, shits his pants all the time.
Yeah, right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Which doesn't feel so sexy, intimate.
No,
it's really hard to...
And if we were to, reverse roles and Dee have a stroke, and I hope I would hang around, but who knows? Would I have the strength or...
Yeah.
I definitely love Dee. She's
my
wife these days.
Right. Tell us about that.
Well,
so you get married.
Yeah. Like I said, Dee's a sucker for punishment. I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. And then Dee got pregnant, and we've got a beautiful 2.5-year-old, and now we've got a beautiful 10-week-old.
Okay, so, and I think that we've talked about this a little bit on Genius. If you haven't seen it yet, or if you're new to Genius, if you type in Ryan's name in our little search bar, you will find a bit of content with Ryan in it, because when you found out you were pregnant, we documented that, we got you on board, I took a little video. Also, we've met Addie.
Yep.
Ryan's eldest, I guess you call it. Gosh,
Sure.
That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. You've got an eldest.
Yeah, that sounds a
Whoa,
bit
even
weird.
since we've met.
I'm still getting used to having a wife.
Sorry, Dee. No, so you've basically, in terms of like, you talk about, one of the things that I love about Ryan and that I learnt about you is this whole one-handed barista thing. And I love, there's so many peeps in our community that are like, you know, dominating with one hand, and obviously the effect of the limitation of having one arm being more functional or strong than the other. For me, it's about it being stronger. And I have altered sensation on this side, but I haven't had spasticity, and I haven't, I've regained a lot of functionality with this arm. So I feel like it's something that I certainly don't want to, I mean, none of us really ever compare. We just like swap stories. What's been like, has anything happened that's been, I don't know, either like, what's the most uplifting, or I feel like these things that seem tragic can also have a lighter side to them.
Sure.
You know, these kind of impairments. And I think sometimes it's worth also acknowledging what some of those perceived limitations can give us in the way of, I mean, it can be even comedy, like, you know, whatever it is. Have you got anything in your life that you've experienced that's like made you giggle about your new abilities?
New abilities. Yeah, I have those kind of funny moments often.
Yeah.
But if I was to share one of the strangest,
Yeah.
it would be a few years ago. Like you and like many crew on Genius, I've got altered sense. I don't have any sensation on the entire left-hand side of my body.
Okay.
And although I can move this hand,
Yeah.
I couldn't hold a cup of tea.
Okay. It's a good looking hand though.
Oh,
I just
thank
looked
you.
at it
Thank
in the
you.
thing.
I can use it to help support, you know, holding something heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's about it. And funnily enough, if I'm not looking at that hand, I don't know where it is.
Can you actually explain that? Sorry, we'll just wedge in and try and wedge out for this, but I find it neglect, that thing, and please let us know below if you've got neglect as well, or if you've experienced anything like it. Where does that come from? I mean, like when you go, I almost feel like it's not there. What does that, can you explain that experience for us?
Yeah, so proprioception, I'm sure a lot of people...
Yeah. Oh yeah,
in
bring
our
on your
group-
physio. Tell us your physio.
A lot of people in our group have heard of proprioception.
Yeah.
And it's your brain's ability to know where each of your body parts exist
Yeah.
in space. And I've got next to no proprioception of my left side.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at it, I know where it is. But if I'm not looking at it, I don't have a sensation or proprioception of it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not even there.
Right.
And, you know, which makes it awkward sometimes, especially in a crowded room. You know, my hand is at bum height.
Oh my god.
You know, and
He's a slapper.
Yeah, I'm a slapper.
Oh my god. Have you,
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of funny. Like, I feel like you were saying something that was kind of humorous before. Yeah, you talk about like it being also a bit comical almost. What, have you got any stories that have...
Yeah. Sorry, back to the story.
No, well, I was like wedge in, wedge out.
So about 3 years ago, it was bedtime. Jumped into bed, leant over, gave Dee a kiss goodnight, and then I shimmied back to my side of the bed.
Yep.
And tried to go to sleep, but then I felt Dee up close. I couldn't see anything; it was pitch black. I felt Dee up close, and I thought, she's coming for some kissing.
Yep.
So I started kissing her back, and after a little while, I heard Dee say something like, "What are you doing?" And I was a bit confused because her voice sounded like it was coming from the other side of the bed, and I was very confused because I'd been making out with Dee for a minute or two, but turn on the light, and I'd actually been making out with my left hand.
Oh my god! Like how when we're like 12 and we're doing our practice.
Yeah, basically.
You're just doing it on your wife, pretending.
I can't feel the left.
Oh, he'll call you back.
Sorry.
We're live on the interwebs. It's fine.
Because I can't feel the left side of my face or my whole left hand. I've been making out with my hand, and some tongue might have come out.
Oh my god, that is the best. I'm so glad we've got to talk. So, oh my god, okay, so whilst we're on the up, I feel like that's a good like resting place for this experience. So really to sort of, if you were to sort of, it's hard to summarize an experience.
I still can't believe I did that.
I still can't believe that you did that. I can't believe you got the tongue.
I'm telling people.
I love it. I'm like, take that on the road. See you, Kathy Griffin. We got a show. So if there was one message to leave the Genius Crew with, on this little chat that we've just had, what would that be in terms of like some sort of RYAN Ogden piece of inspiration that's helped you get through?
It's okay if you want to make out with the back of your hand.
Thank you. That's so good. Now, I've lined up a bit of... So, guys, I asked Ryan in prep for our little meeting, which we wanted to surprise you and actually be live together. I asked Ryan what piece of music has inspired him or motivated him in his recovery, because this week, lots of us, Sue in particular, have been sharing music that gets us going. And I know I range from, I realized this when you told me some stuff, because you're like, oh, anything from blah, blah, blah. I like range from like old school music, movie, like, Pulp Fiction-y kind of stuff, to then like dance stuff, to like Kelly Rowland, to Taylor Swift, like shaking it off. I've got a lot of stuff that gets me. Oh, and then, who are those guys? Not Flume. I really get them. Arctic Monkeys, I think it is. But there's some stuff that really gets me going. So we're going to go into the exit of this amazing little chat that we've got to have, where you've told me that you tongued your arm. Take us out and I'll put the music on. So why is this next song important to you? Why did it get you going?
I suppose just the lyrics of it and the tune, not giving in. When I was having tough days, not giving in would start pumping in the back of my head, and before long it was, blaring in the forefront of my mind, and I was kicking goals again.
That is amazing.
Oh, you know this song.
I've learnt it because of you. I'm like... We've got to wait for the thing to kick in. My goal. Give it to me, Ryan. Give me some of those head jazz.
I can't compete with you.
Oh, please.
We do that side-to-side head thing for
Well, everyone here seems to get into the head with me. Do your head if you want to do it with me. Alright, we're going, taking it out. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for coming to Candid with Cal this week. Everyone say goodbye to Ryan. Say goodbye.
See you, everyone.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. I'm a genius. Ryan is a genius. You're a genius. Let's get cracking.